So I worked as porter for some time. And they tried to put me in or promote me to driveway salesman. But somehow I was turned down. Now, I didn't have a whole lot of questions back, and so forth. But I was turned down, and I wondered why. Because when I worked the driveway, I worked just like the other guy did. I was out there, and I sold tires. In fact, I told more tires than any of those guys that were driveway salesmen. And so, but during that time that I was there, my first year, it was really rough. In fact, at one time I started to quit. But a good friend of mine, Wayne McDaniel, who lived here in Claremore, he said, Riley, he said, don't quit. He said, times and things are going to get better. Because when I worked there, there was segregation within that station where I was treated different. In fact, I started in, it was November when I first started at 57. Well, they always had a Christmas party for the station attendant, but that was at the discretion of the manager at the store. And but they didn't invite me to the party. And the manager at that time, he didn't come and tell me. He couldn't face me and tell me that I wasn't invited. He sent one of the other guys to tell me, his name was Jim Cook. And he came to me and told me, he said, Riley, he said, I just wanted to tell you, he said, that we're having a party, Christmas party, and Cecil wanted me to tell you that you weren't invited. I played it off. It didn't bother me, It didn't bother me at all. I mean, because, but in later years you think about these things. But it's nothing that you hold in you grudgingly, but it goes through you. Anyhow, that happened. And then there's one time they put a snake in my car. Big snake, about 6 foot long, was in my car. So we got that out of there, that passed. And also the cash box where we made change, and they put a little snake in there where I made change. Small snake, but all that type of harassment, it would went on. And it began to take its toll on me, but I stood fast. And the guy, one of the guys, dear friends of mine, Wayne McDaniel. But those type of things went on. And a lot of the guys that worked there were young guys, and some of them were married, some of them weren't. And they used to go out to all of the bars and things here in Claremore and drink, and that's the first thing. And what they would do, they would take money out of the cash box. We'd come up short. So they got to blame it on me. Naturally, it's back to what I said. If you were black, back in those days, whether you did it or not, you were blamed for it, and it was laid on you. That's just the way it was. It's not no hard feeling, but that's just the way it was. So anyhow, those things happened. They would tap the cash box for $5 or $6, $7, $8, buy a bottle and this and that and so forth, but they laid it on me, and then the manager got the suspicion that I was taking money. Naturally, they always said blacks, all blacks steal. That's always been a brand. I can tell you because I'm black. But those things didn't bother me that much.